Happy Saturday to all of you. Hope you all have a safe and prosperous weekend. This information is pertaining to Quentin Simon. This is for Chief Hadley and the District Attorney. 5 weeks ago, a call went into your dispatch of a missing child by his mother, Leilani Simon. And in these short few weeks, you all have been searching for him in a landfill due to evidence that you said you received and gathered against the mother. But yet you have not arrested the mother nor her mother, Billy Joe Howell, as the custodian of the said two boys. And a lot of nonsense has transpired pertaining to YouTubers and random people, all random, on the ground at 535 Bogalter Road. Our fear is that if the child is not recovered out of the landfill, that you will continue to let these two people walk free or any other co-conspirators that aided the mother in the death of her child and discarment of her child. It is your obligation, your duty, to serve the public of Chatham County and thereof. We as outsiders, bystanders, are tired of the stories, the gossip, the rhetoric pertaining to this child, and it will only continue until you arrest the mother and the grandmother and whomever else is involved. Enough is enough. Your duty, your obligation, your own words is that I know that some of you share in our sorrow of this child missing, presumed dead, and discarded in a dumpster, which was carried to the landfill. This cannot continue. I'm also speaking to the district attorney personally. Bring forth the charge and indictment against both parties because they are in the wrong, both parties. And I think you know this from emails to your police department, the aiding of the FBI that you sought out 3 hours into this investigation, your own police officers, GBI. It will all be for nothing if you continue to let these people walk free. There doesn't have to be any more meddling, gossip, rhetoric. Just arrest them and be done with it. But Leilani filed a false report to Chatham County Police Department, which should be a charge. And in most cases pertaining to missing children that are already dead, the police officer, sheriff, whomever is investigating has the willful intent to charge them as the first charge and then hold her on that charge as a suspect in the child's death, which you have already rendered. Arrest her on that charge, filing a false report, lying to police. If she spoke to federal investigators, she lied to the FBI. I do not know, but you know the law, and you know she should be in jail. The grandmother also knows that the child was dead beforehand, soliciting people for funeral donations before you even presume the child dead. That is also fraud, and that means she had knowledge that the child was deceased, so that means she's also a co-conspirator. Billy Joe Howell. They both have knowledge, sir, that the child was not missing. They have now spun 5 narratives pertaining to the child missing. 1, Bubba Moss took the child. 2, the child wandered off. 3, a random stranger entered the house and stole the child. 4, Danny Youngkin giving the child a bath, sending messages to Diana McCarter, allegedly, from his phone the morning of October 5th. And number 5, now implicating the brother Paul since the children were allegedly left behind and there were only allegedly 3 people in the house while Billy Joe Howell and her husband were away at work. 5 narratives spun in 5 weeks. When are you going to put a stop to this BS? pertaining to this case. That baby deserves justice, and it is a slap in his face with everything that has transpired on Buckhalter, the disturbing of the peace, the ridiculous signs of YouTubers on the lawn, which a person has a right to post whatever they want, so long as it's not derogatory. But this is a slap in the baby's face. It is also a slap in the other two children who are now in foster care. Do the right thing, sir. District Attorney, you as well, bring forth an indictment against both Leilani Simon and Billy Joe Howe. Both are complicit in harming the child. One was the custodian, Billy Joe Howe, who left and stayed away out of town for work. She also filed charges against her child to put her out, and child support, which is fraud, because she knew she had not been raising the children. So filing for child support to the child support office is a crime because she did not take care of the children physically. That's another charge. And that will be up to family court to decide how to render that. But it is time to put a stop to two people walking free and using other people who are blindly following in behind them, using platforms to spread lies and gossip pertaining to the children. You also have a YouTuber who has immersed themselves into the case as having knowledge of what has happened to Quentin Simon. She also needs to be brought up for questioning. So as I've heard that you've been consulting with Canadian authorities, then due diligence. Stop the nonsense. You have the upper hand. From my understanding, the FBI has recommended that you arrest Leilani Simon, and you have chosen not to do so. Why not? Why not? District Attorney, your obligation as well is to serve the general public of that county. Bring forth an indictment against both parties for fraud. My understanding, the IRS is involved. Bring forth an indictment. Do right by the people of Chatham County, but most importantly, do right by Quentin Simon. These are your words, sir, pertaining to the child.
News. Sad news. Chatham County Police and the FBI have notified Quentin Simmons' family that they believe a toddler is presumed dead.
According to a tweet from Chatham County Police, authorities have named the boy's mother, Leilani Simon, as the prime suspect in his disappearance and death. But police say no arrests have been made and no charges have been filed. Our Andy Cole has been following this story from the very start. He joins us now live. And Andy, the police took to social media to break this news.
Hey, good evening, Shannon. That's exactly right. They took to Twitter, and I want you to go ahead and take a look at those tweets. I'm going to read them for you now. We are saddened to report that Chatham County Police and the FBI have notified that Quentin Simmons' family that we believe he is deceased. We have named his mother, Leilani Simon, as the prime suspect in his disappearance and death. But no arrests have been made and no charges have been filed. Chief Hadley will hold a media briefing tomorrow at some point to give more details and answer questions. We will not be making any further statements or answering any questions until that time. We know that thousands of people around the world will be heartbroken by this news, and we share your sorrow. Shannon and Greg, obviously this is a major development. As you said, Quentin has been missing and is now dead. After just 1 week of searching, dozens of FBI agents were on the case, and of course, even more local law enforcement were there and assisted in this search, including Savannah Mounted Patrol, Mosquito Control. Many people were involved in this search, and many have speculated the outcome of this, and we still don't know a lot about this case. That's why we're going to have many questions for Chief Hadley at that media availability tomorrow. We will be there, and we will be pressing police for more information.
And Andy, you reported yesterday authorities were gathering all sorts of evidence in this case.
Yeah, that's exactly right. One thing that our legal analyst, Philip Holloway, noted is that it's phones that may help crack these cases. You got to think, by getting the information on this phone, you know exactly who I've called, who I've texted, who I've emailed, where I've been. This provides a lot of key information to law enforcement to help them paint a picture in this investigation.
All right, Andy, thanks so much. Definitely not the news any of us wanted to hear.
WJCL is the source. Missing Savannah Toller, Quentin Simon presumed dead. This was uploaded to the YouTube queue and the general public 4 weeks ago. We are now 5 weeks into this investigation. From my understanding, FBI agents who work on the other side of this case have dispersed, and you all still have workers, agents, officers still on the ground searching. It has been halted due to the storm down on the coast, but is allegedly to resume on Monday or until further notice. Do the right thing, Chief Hadley, District Attorney. You have an obligation to the child and the general public and the safety of others, because what you have to say to yourselves, which is logic, if a person has the entitlement to kill a child, they are not safe around any other child or adults. And if they can kill once, they can kill again. Myself and my mod KM have put up a petition on change.org for any citizen to sign to have Leilani Simon and Billy Joe Howe pay back, mandate to pay back all of the $250,000 that you requested, Chief Hadley, from the commission's board, which is taking money out of your school district. And the board kindly gave you that money. So do right by your citizens and those who allotted you that money to search for Quentin Simon. Make these two participants, mother and daughter, pay that money back. They owe that baby that, and they owe your county that money back. And if you want to see those who believe in the cause for Quentin Simon, please go to change.org, District Attorney and Chief Hadley, to see the petition. Last rendering was over 800 signees on that petition. We mean business. We will fight for baby Quentin if nobody else will. And we will not spread lies and stories, those who actually care about the child, in seeking justice for his death. And I do believe, in my personal opinion, that is intentional homicide. I do not know the evidence that you have gathered, but these were your words that you have evidence against Leilani Simon. You've named her as the primary suspect, the only suspect in the death of Quentin and the discarment of him. Believe that he is in that dumpster. Called around 40 agents around the United States, the Sheriff's Department, GBI, FBI to aid you. Then do right diligence by Quentin Simon and arrest his mother for filing a false report, suspect of the baby's death, and also her mother, Billy Joe Howe, for fraud, knowledge that the baby was dead before you presumed him dead. Do right by Quentin Simon. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. All stickers and chats are welcome during my live. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution and not the problem. Mind the children. Thank you all for joining this content, watching the content, sharing the content. Please share the petition. Thank you for those who have signed the petition. Prayers for the recovery of Quentin Simon. Prayers for those on the coast. Prayers that this recovery will resume. And prayers for any child who is currently being mentally and physically and verbally abused by their custodian or their parent. If you know that a child is being abused, please contact the police, bypass DHS. Do not wait for an investigation. Go to the police department. You can call anonymously. Do right by a child, because you just may save a life. Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Please sign the petition. Chief Hadley, District Attorney, there are some people that care for him. And if you mean what you've been saying, that we share in the sorrow for the loss of this child, then arrest Billy Joe Howe and Leilani Simon and make them pay that money back. District Attorney, mandate that they pay the $250,000 back to the county. Thank you for your time. This is Everyday Shenanigans.